got Trump, we got them all, but we got one more to cover, and that's Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem right now is was one of the top picks for Trump's VP candidate. Not anymore. And this is why, and it's pretty funny. So this is the Midas Touch again, and she's going to talk about this. This is really crazy.
Remember when Senator Mitt Romney got dragged for tying the family dog's crate to the roof of his car on a cross-country drive? I remember that story. Well, MAGA Republican South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem raises Mitt several levels on the animal cruelty scorecard. Noem recounts a few stories about how she's killed her own animals in her new book, No Going Back, The Truth of What's Wrong with Politics and How We Move America Forward. Well, Noem appears to think that the way to move America forward and to sell books is to tell stories about more Republican bloodshed and carnage toward the family pets. Here is the puppy, 14 months old, named Cricket, a wire hair pointer. Noem, who is angling super hard, like doing the absolute most to be named Donald Trump's VP pick, says that the dog, a female, had an aggressive personality and needed to be trained for pheasant hunting. And this is taken from an article reported in The Guardian regarding her book and the story. By taking Cricket on a pheasant hunt with older dogs, Noem says she hoped to calm the young dog down and begin to teach her how to behave. Unfortunately, Cricket ruined the hunt, going, quote, out of her mind with excitement, chasing all those birds and having the time of her life. That is very normal behavior for a hunting breed, a young dog.
Well, that's normal behavior for a dog that hasn't been trained. Especially a puppy.
Yeah. I think that's just puppy behavior.
Well, furthermore, it's one of those, and I'm not a hunter or anything, but why are you bringing an untrained dog on a hunt? It's just going to scare off the game and piss everybody off.
I don't know. I know literally nothing about that.
Yeah, why it's like bringing somebody to go golf with you that's never golfed before. It's just going to be miserable for them, and they're going to slow it down and piss everybody off. Why would you do that? Right? So she's already an idiot. Oh my god, I have to train the dog?
Dog who has not been properly trained. Continuing on in this Guardian article, Noem says that Cricket then chased down and killed a neighbor's chickens. At that moment, Noem says, I realized I had to put her down. Noem, who also represented her state in Congress for 8 years, got her gun, then led Cricket to a gravel pit. It was not a pleasant job, she writes, but it had to be done. And after it was over, I realized another unpleasant job needed to be done. Incredibly, Noem's tale of slaughter is not finished.
Okay, we'll get into the second murder here in a second. Because this is already fucking insane. Alright. So your dog gets into your neighbor's yard, kills a chicken. Okay, I looked that up. And there are in South Dakota, where she's at, the judge can decide that the animal needs to be put down if it's too wild or it's too much a threat because it killed somebody else's property. Right?
Right.
I don't know that I agree with that necessarily, but also in South Dakota, if that's the case, Kristi Noem, her and her husband, because it's their dog, they would have been tagged with a misdemeanor for neglecting their pet.
Oh.
Because their pet got out and killed somebody else's property, somebody else's chicken.
Because basically they weren't being responsible pet owners or whatever.
Right. You got to keep track of your own stuff. So this whole thing is really stupid. So even then, let's say, because she didn't get charged for this, let's say this all went out and the judge did say that the dog had to be put down. Because nobody said the dog had to be put down. And apparently the neighbor was willing to let it slide. Right? This is her just, I don't want to take care of the dog anymore. And the dog is still a puppy at this point. This is not like this is a full-grown dog. This is still a young dog. And instead of the normal thing you do, and I don't know if you kids know this, it's not the 1930s anymore. You don't just go shoot the pet. Because there's no one else to take it to. In the modern era, if you have to put an animal down, you take it to the vet. And they put it down painlessly.
So what you're saying is we are not living Old Yeller.
Yeah, exactly. This is not, you know,
Okay.
this is fucking insane. Um, yeah, she's just insane. But it gets worse. Because she's not done with the killing. She's got the blood on her hands. She's got a taste for it
Oh my
now.
god.
It's going further.
She then remembered that the family had a goat that, in her words, smelled, quote, disgusting, musky, and rancid. So she decided to kill the goat the same day she shot Cricket.
Okay. So, we also have a goat, and it smells musky and disgusting and rancid. Like, oh, I don't know, a fucking goat? Have you ever smelled a goat? Have you ever eaten goat?
Well, no, but apparently, no, she hasn't smelled a goat, but apparently she's killed some.
Well, then she had one, so she goes to kill it, and it gets worse. This is all from her book. This is all self-confession. Nobody needed to know this. She could have gone to her grave, and nobody would have known this happened. But she had to put it in her book as her sales pitch to
I fail to see what
why she should be vice
I fail to see
president.
what point she's making. Is it because killing animals makes her tough?
Yeah, I think that's where she's going.
Oh gosh.
And she dragged the goat to the gravel pit. The goat, the unnamed goat, jumped as she shot it and apparently survived the wound, so she had to run back to her truck, reload her ammo, and finish the job. Noem brags about her willingness to do anything as a rancher or a politician if it's, quote, difficult, messy, and ugly. And as DJ Darwin put out on X, she's letting everyone know that she can do the dirty work if needed, including killing their perceived enemies.
So, you're right, that was her point. The point is, I'm responsible, I can do what needs to be done. Well, no, Kristi, you're not, because if you'd done what needed to be done, you would have trained the dog, and you wouldn't have let it get out and kill the neighbor's chicken. You didn't do what needed to be done. You took the easy way out. When it was too difficult to take care of the pet, you shot it. You didn't even take it to the fucking vet or give it up for adoption. You were too lazy to do that. You just dragged it out into the gravel pit and shot and killed a puppy. You just stuck a gun in its face and said, "Make my day," and then...
Well, folks, this is your Republican Party.
Well, the goat thing, too. It's like, if the goat smells, sell the goat. Give it away. Was there any need to shoot the goat? And even then, you can't do what needs to be done, Kristi, because it took you 2 fucking tries and you didn't even bring ammo with you. So after you shot it and it was still alive and suffering, you still had to go back to your car and get more bullets? You couldn't even get it done the first time.
What we've learned is she is somebody who makes last moves is underprepared to be able to execute said
Yeah, she can't.
Half the time it's going to be because she was negligent in the first place, and then she's going to do some bigger thing to make up for or cover the thing she screwed up in the first place.
Yeah, she's going to fuck up, and then she's going to blame the dog. Uh-oh. I lost you there for a second. You still with me? Yep. So that's Kristi Noem. Dog killing Kristi Noem. But guess who's now off Trump's short list for VP? She fucked that up.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Think about it. Think about how fucked up you have to be too sick for Trump. Mr. Grab him by the pussy, I could murder a person and not lose a vote. But killing the puppy. Wow, I guess now we know what a bridge too far is for that fucker. Shooting the homely puppy. Well, anyway, you're still there? You're breaking up a little bit. Hello?
Yeah, you're cutting out on me.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's the last clip we had. So, we'll wrap up. Thanks everybody for joining us. You can catch Lacey. Her links are down below on mysensewithsense.com with her blogs. Feel free to email us, gossipfinancead@outlook.com. And thanks everybody for joining. We'll catch you later.
Yeah.